So your bench is stuck. It's a tale as old as time. You're eating, sleeping, techniques on point, but still the same number week after week. This video might just be for you. I'm gonna break down a full week of bench training for somebody trying to break through a plateau, and we'll even go in depth and give you a full training day from a brand new program that we just dropped on the Calgary Barbell app. A lot of lifters either bench way too heavy too often, or don't get enough frequency to practice the bench press, and or don't push their accessories hard enough to promote building muscle in relevant areas. And that's how you end up hitting a plateau. It's not because you're not working hard enough, it's because the structure of your training doesn't necessarily promote or support that progress that you're trying to make. And you know what? From lifter to lifter, I've struggled with my bench my whole lifting career. I've been powerlifting for, I think, 14 years now, and my bench has always been my weakest lift. But you know what? I've been able to bring it up and push it way beyond where it started, and in today's video, I want to help you do the same. All right, so here is a week of example programming. You'll notice at a glance, the first thing, you're gonna be benching a lot. You're gonna be doing the competition bench every single of the 4 days that you're training. Now, day one here is what I would call sort of the meat and potatoes exposure of the bench. You're doing a decent number of reps with a moderate RPE. That should provide you a whole lot of the sort of base building strength and skill. Moving on that day, you'll see that the accessories, there's not a lot of volume here. We're not necessarily trying to push that peripheral or hypertrophy kind of stimulus on this day. Because the next day we're gonna carry forward with, you'll notice these exposures here. We have this, what I call a sort of baseline bench exposure on each day. So we're gonna have multiple sets of 4 at a pretty easy RPE. These are gonna be just above warm-up weights. They should be very easy to move through, and they're simply there to help us stack on that little bit more stimulus without you getting burnt out or blowing your shoulders or elbows apart, right? So that's why I have these percentages to sort of modulate and ensure that the intensity is low enough on those. This intensity will scale week over week versus day to day. We also have our long pause work on this day. Most raw lifters lose it as they start to press. They're not comfortable enough with the bar on their chest. And the lifters that are more comfortable, are stronger, are more stable with the bar on their chest, tend to be better pressers. So that's why this is very important. On day 3, there's again the baseline exposure, followed by a big focus on that other side of the coin, the hypertrophy stimulus. We're pushing higher reps on the close grip bench. We're doing more work for the triceps and the delts, really trying to hammer that less specific stuff. Again, in higher rep ranges, making use of myo reps there even. And on day 4, we do a little bit more of the baseline volume because we're not doing any accessories on this day. So we're getting a little bit more of the lighter stuff to start with, but what we are doing on this day is our heaviest, most specific work. This is gonna be heavy doubles, and as we get later into the program, it's gonna scale into singles on that day, so we have that really specific comp exposure, also to help us gauge whether or not we're making progress, right? Anytime we get to that, if that is going up, we're getting good results through the program. All right, so let's zoom in on day 1. This is from that program that we built in the Calgary Barbell app, and this is how we're gonna be breaking bench plateaus. First exercise of the day is gonna be competition squats, because despite the fact that we're trying to break bench plateaus, I mean, we're still a power lifter, or at the very least, we are concerned about building muscle and strength through the full body. So we're starting off with squat. Now, with the squat, we're doing ramping sets up to a set of 5 at a 7.5 RPE. What you wanna do is set a goal weight for your top set of 5 at 7.5, and then kind of work backwards. Your first set is gonna be 90% of the goal weight. Your second set is gonna be 95% of the goal weight. This is gonna allow us to adjust the weight for that top set up or down as needed to ensure that we get the right weight on the bar. Now for the bench, we are running the exact same protocol, although we're adding on a back off set. So you'll do the same thing, work up to your top set of 5 at 7.5 RPE, but then take about 5 to 7% off of the bar and perform an additional set of 5. Bear in mind for all of these bench reps, anytime it just says bench press, we want to be pausing these reps. We are powerlifting. We have to pause bench in competition. And I mean, generally just pausing bench, even if you don't care about powerlifting, is a great way to just build your bench. The next movement is the feet up bench press. And this is one of my favorite movements for just forcing the upper body to do all of the work. We're taking the leg drive, we're taking the lower body completely out of the equation. One of my tips for this exercise though is get set and set up while using your feet, then unrack, then lift the feet. If you do things in that order, you have the best chance of being able to create and maintain a good position while still fulfilling the requirement of removing the legs. Lastly for this day, we're gonna do some dumbbell overhead press. Obviously the shoulders and triceps are gonna get hit here with some relatively low volume, relatively high RPE work. Now an RPE 8 means that we are seeing a little bit or some noticeable slowdown on the final rep. We've got about 2 reps left in the tank. Like I've said a few times throughout this video, hitting an appropriate intensity on these accessory movements is quite important. If we want to build muscle, we have to be pushing pretty hard. Now this session, this week, this training program isn't sexy. I don't have any super secret answers or shortcuts. You know, bench pressing in the bottom of a squat to save time, it's not gonna help you. What is gonna help you is, number one, checking the easiest boxes that there are to check, which is gonna be eating enough, sleeping enough, and making sure that your programming is intelligently designed, which hopefully we helped you with here. Real progress on the bench and in lifting in general comes from consistently doing the boring shit, the basics, doing them well, doing them repeatedly for a long ass time, and being very committed to doing those things. Now we have this full structure, like I said, including these squats and deadlifts, built around breaking bench plateaus. Now this program is contained within the Calgary Barbell app, which encompasses the entire philosophy we've been talking about. And if you're interested in trying out the Calgary Barbell app, we're having our huge annual sale right now. So it is currently 30% off. And if you sign up during our anniversary sale using code 4YEARS, you're gonna get that 30% off in perpetuity. It's 30% off the monthly, 30% off the annual, which is a steep discount off the monthly. And as long as you don't cancel, you get that price forever. So if you're struggling with your bench or any other lift, go check out the Calgary Barbell app. Links in the description below. Code 4YEARS, get a steep discount. Other than that, thanks for watching. We hope this helped. Now, go lift some heavy shit.